Good morning and welcome to Jay's Craft Shack. So today I decided I wanted to try my very first video tutorial. So I am in love with these handbags. They just turn out so cute and they're super easy to make. So I thought this would make a great first tutorial. The die set is through Tonic Studios. I have it right here for you. It's the designer bag set. And here's the dies that come with it. So let's get started. The first thing I like to do is any decorative pieces that I can attach before I assemble, that's what I like to do. So we have these side panels of the handbags. I did make this paper with the Nouveau shimmer powders. I just love it. You never know exactly what you're gonna get when you combine colors. So let's go ahead and get started. My room does face the street, so if you hear traffic, I apologize. I live in a pretty quiet town in the sticks, but sometimes there is traffic. I have a neighbor who has a Mustang with exhaust. Can wake the dead, it's so loud. But I have to appreciate that, you know. So I'm just gonna glue this down, try and get it centered. And then this also gives it time to adhere before I have to add more to it. Oh my gosh, isn't this color just so pretty? I actually just used black and then hot pink shimmer powders. So, and maybe some gray, I can't remember. But I just love the way it turned out purple. So I have used the embossing folder that goes with this set. I don't have it in front of me, I can't remember the name, but I love the way that it embosses and gives you this pattern like you would find on a high-end purse. Sorry, I have to stop talking to concentrate. Before this is done, you may be sick of my voice anyway, who knows. Alright, so there's the first two pieces. Absolutely adorable. I'm just going to set those to the side, and then I'm going to take these handles. So I have cut 4 of the handles. I'm just going to glue these together. It makes it stronger. And then I'm going to glue them back to back and just line them up so they're even everywhere. And if they're a little off, don't worry about it. Let the perfection go. And the judgment of what you're doing has to be perfect. Just let it go. It's not worth the stress. Crafting is supposed to be fun and a good time, right? And if you hear that, it is my heater. I live in northeastern Minnesota, and if we're lucky, it'll be 50 today. The sun is out, so that's exciting. It's been a few days since I've been able to see the sun. And coming from Arizona, it's kind of sad. Alright, so my handles are glued together. Now I'm just going to add this little accent piece to the handle. So bear with me one moment while I get the glue put on. And then I'm just going to try and get it as centered in that strap as I can. And if you're wondering, the Nouveau glue does dry clear, so if you get any on the black, it's not going to show up. Not too shabby, what do you think? So I'm also going to do the other side, because you know you need fancy stuff on the inside of the strap as well. I'm just going to put glue here. Alright, I'm just going to flip that upside down and try and get it again. There we go. And I don't know if you can see, but there's a little embossed line right there, so you kind of know where you want your accents to go. So let's go ahead and get the second one done. You don't want to put too much glue or you'll get glue everywhere. So I'm just going to place this down, wipe up that glue. Oh, it moved. Okay, give me 1 sec. Just trying to get this all cleaned up. Not too shabby. Oh, if it would stay still, it would be better. Okay. And I probably have so much glue on my thumbs that, you know, that won't help either. Alright, so I'm going to place this one down. See, that one had a lot of glue on it, so. Oh gosh, that's not good. One always has to act up, you know, it's just like kids. You have that one. Alright, so I'm just going to let that dry now. Okay, so I have the front pocket right here. And I'm just going to add a strip and a zipper. So I'm just going to glue this down. And I'm going to put it right here. It's crazy that this came out of the same paper that the side panels that I just glued on did. Ended up just really getting the black, gray, and white. Not a whole lot of pink or purple in there. Alright, so then I'm going to grab a zipper. Maybe. I'm just going to put some glue on the back of the zipper. Not a whole lot, just a little. And I'm going to center it onto this piece we just glued on. Press it down. And I always add the zipper pulls last because I do these like dots. So I'm going to set that to the side. Okay, so now we're going to have 6 of these. I only need 3 for right now, and you're going to want to make sure the tabs face all the same way. So right now I'm just going to glue these together. And I'm going to do it as straight as possible. And then I'm going to put glue on this tab. And I'm going to glue the third one on there and try and line it up with the dots in the embossed sections. And then I'm just going to let it sit for a minute, and I'm going to glue the other ones together, doing the same thing, same step. And then it moves, of course, so then you got to realign it. Just press it down. And if it's in a good spot, you can always use your bone folder to just give it that extra push. So then I'm going to use this one, or glue this one, and I'm going to line it up here. Alright, we're just going to sit and let that dry for a minute. And then we're going to bring this one back. Alright, so I have pieces cut out for this. Sorry about that. And I'm just going to glue these down. So this is going to be the sides and the top of your handbag. So they're going to go right here. Then you just push it down. I love how this looks so quilted. It's just so pretty. Alright, and you're going to do this 3 times on this side. Alright. There's actually like little indentation where these need to go, so it helps you decide where you want to put them. Then once you have them where you want them, just press down to get it to adhere. All right, last piece for this one. All right. We're going to line that up and just try and get it as straight as possible. I see that mine's not lined up really well, but let's see, maybe that helps. All right, so here's what the sides and the top are going to look like. So I'm going to do that again on this piece now that it's had a few minutes to sit. So we're just going to glue this up. And attach it. All right, then we're going to take the next piece. And we're going to attach that one. Let's turn it around. Let's see. And just press it down once it's where you want it. All right. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm just going to put it to the side and let it dry. And then we are going to do this piece. So give me 1 second. All right, I just want to do the accents on here. So I'm going to be gluing this gray piece onto the black piece, and that's going to be like where the buckle is on your bag. And so I'm just going to pull it over here, try and center it a little more. There. And then I actually had one to go with the sides cut out, and I saw these cute little hearts. I saw those cute little hearts. I was like, oh, those would be cute. I thought it would just cut out the hearts, not realizing it was going to cut out the whole shape. So we're going with plan B here. As a crafter, I think we always have plan B, C, D, E, the whole alphabet some days when stuff isn't cooperating. So I'm just going to put these cute little hearts over here and try and center that. Wipe the excess glue. And so there, it's kind of cute. All right, so then we have this piece. And this is where it gets interesting. So you're gonna take your bone folder and you're gonna kind of round this part. Let's see. It doesn't need to be like bent in half or anything. It just needs to be a little curved. And I'll explain why as soon as I get it to where I want it. Okay. All right. So once you get it curved, you're going to bend these little tabs down. And let me see. I actually use a different glue when it comes to gluing the tabs and stuff, something that adheres a little faster. And so I'm using original tacky glue from Aleene's. I used to use this stuff as a kid. But so because we have to glue this pretty fast, what's going to happen is we're going to glue this on to this. So see why we needed to curve that? It needs to follow along with that, and then it's going to attach to the top of the purse here. So like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can work it once you start gluing it to the purse and this buckle. But for right now, I'm just going to do the buckle so that it can dry and sit for a few minutes. And you really have to have some strength to get this Aleene's glue out of the bottle. Super thick. Okay, so I'm just going to start right here. And then I'm just going to go around and hold it down until it's where I want it to be. And you have to work with it just so you get it to where you like it. It's not going to be exact, and honestly, nobody's going to notice that but the creator. So again, I'm saying let the perfection go and just make it as close to perfect as you can get it. Alright, so if you see, it goes around like that. And so I'm just going to let that sit for a few minutes, and then I want to show you how to adhere the handles. So I always bring my my big purse parts down like this, and then I can kind of see it 6 inches, so you know your middle is right here. And so remember I showed you those embossed lines right there? That's where you're gonna glue these to the purse, and it guides you. So you just want to try and make sure that you're as close to the center as possible. I'm always forever not getting things centered, so if things look a little wonky, it's okay. That's how you tell it's handmade, right? Let the perfection go, people. Let the perfection go. So I'm just going to put some glue on here on the edges like this, and then I'm going to try and get it as close to the center as I possibly can without this moving. Would be even better. Okay, let's see. So yes, I do realize I just got glue everywhere, and that looks centered to me. So let me just push that down, and then I'm going to pick it up and take a closer look and make sure I'm on the lines but not above it. Okay, and that looks pretty good to me. So the other thing is you need to decide which you want to be your front and which you want to be your back. So at this point I haven't actually decided because I will be putting a pocket on the front, so that will cover up a majority of the paper. Alright, so then what I do is I will put these like this just so I can try and get the second set aligned with the first set of handles. And it doesn't always work. Like, you can look at my purses and see where the handles are slightly off. But again, I'm not a machine, I'm a human, and I do make mistakes. So let's see what we can figure out here. Okay, so this one needs to come down a little bit. And there we have it. See how easy that was? So hopefully when I get this put together and everything's lined up, the handles will be somewhat close to each other and not off like in different sides. So I'm gonna let these sit for a minute, and then I'm gonna work on the zipper part while that glues down and adheres. Okay, that little heart keeps coming back. So this is going to be your centerpiece because it has the 2 tabs on the end. You're going to have 2 of the rounded end tabs cut out, and I'm just going to adhere this into one piece. Alright, so I'm going to put glue on this tab right here, and then I'm going to put, oh my gosh, I love this gloss mat just because I'm always forever making a mess. Gee whiz. Okay, so now that that's glued down, I'm just going to hold it there for a minute, apply some pressure. Alright, then I'm going to do the second side. Not so much glue this time, and it doesn't matter, it's still going to get everywhere. And then I'm just going to apply. Okay. And I hope for straightness. Like, it looks pretty good. Just know that it will be curved and put over the purse. So if it's not perfect, that's okay. Nobody's going to be able to tell. So here are my zippers. And I'm going to go ahead and get these glued on. One will need to be trimmed because it'll be way longer than the other, than the black strip that they're going on. Holy cow. Alright, so I'm just going to put that down like right there. Try and keep it straight and centered, and it will go into the other one. Don't worry about that at this time. You're fine. It's not going to do anything. Okay, so I'm going to grab the second zipper piece. And I'm going to line it up, and look how, I don't know if you can tell the details, but look how it overlaps. So this one, the longer piece is at the top. I don't know, can you see? And then this one, it's at the bottom. So it makes it completely easy to line up. See how that looks? And again, the Nouveau glue does dry clear, so don't worry that you can see that. Alright, so this one I'm not going to put glue all the way down. I'll just put some like right here. And again, I'm going to line it up. And try and make it as straight as possible. And then with my scissors, I'm going to trim that end. Let's see. Okay. So now you have your zipper done. Okay, so we're going to go back to this beautiful piece right here that we rounded earlier. Alright, I'm going to fold the tabs down, and then we're going to adhere it to the back of the purse. So I think I like the more gray in the back. So this will be my front. So I'm going to set that to the side. Okay, here's the back. The first thing I'm going to do is try and center this so it's not all wonky. So bear with me 1 second. We're going to lay this back down again. And we already know that this, we already know that this right here is going to be your center, and there's only two tabs per side, so as long as you can get that center part somewhere near there, you're going to be fine. So I'm going to take my Aleene's glue again and just put very little on the tab. Okay, and then I'm just going to try placing this down without moving. These gloss mats are so slick. And once I get it down like that, well, supposedly it's supposed to stick, but at least I have the glue to see whereabouts I want to be. So I'm just going to do the first one, and this is the tricky part, okay? So I'm going to attach the first one and hold it down for a minute until it grabs. And this glue grabs pretty quick, so that's a plus. And then I'm going to bend this one down. And that one's not curving enough to my liking. Alright, I think we got it. So now I'm just holding all 4 tabs. And it looks like I might have missed the center a little bit, but let the perfection go. I know. If nothing else, let the perfection go. Okay, why isn't that one not liking me? Sorry, I'm out of the camera. Okay, I'm just holding that last one in place for a minute. Alright, so I'm going to take my bone folder and ask why this one isn't going down. Bear with me 1 second. I just want to scratch a piece of paper. And I'm going to show you a little trick. So if something isn't sticking, you can just take a scratch piece of paper, a little bit of glue, and then just run it under wherever you're missing, where it's not sticking. So then once that's done, you can press it down again. Hopefully I'm lined up well enough. Oh, I am. Ooh, today's my lucky day. Alright, so then I'm just going to push down again, just to make sure everything is adhering okay. And I'm actually just going to let that sit. But so now you have the back of your purse with the clasp. So let's see. If we do it like this, it looks pretty good. Okay. So now what we're going to want to do is we're going to fold these pieces up. And I like to take my bone folder and just give it a quick fold over. And then same with this one. Okay, and so I'm going to do the same thing with the front side. We just want to fold this over, take your bone folder, give it a good crease. Alright, same with the small section. Alright, so it's looking like a purse maybe. Okay, so then the next thing we do is we have these two hinge parts. Let me just clean this off real quick. We have the two hinge parts. I'm going to wash some glue off my fingers. And the directions say you need 4, but honestly I just do the 1. I fold it in half. Use my bone folder. I fold this one in half. Use my bone folder. Now we're coming up on the hardest part of this whole thing. So I'm trying to show you as best as I can. Alright, so this has a tab here already that you fold over, but here you're going to want to glue this one down. And let me see. I hope I'm on camera and you can see this. Alright, so I'm going to fold over this tab. Alright, and so you know you want the tab to go up like this on the other side. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on. And I'm going to glue this down to the other end. Just make sure there's nothing sticking out on the sides or the edge, and then just pinch it until it adheres. All right. So now you have two ends, see? So what we're going to do before we fold the tabs over is we're going to take our bone folder and start in the center and try curving this a bit. It doesn't need to be a drastic curve because it's going to go on the purse. But you just take it and curve it up like that. All right, and then once you have it where you like it, fold down those tabs and we're going to adhere it to the back of our handbag. So I'm just folding tabs down now. And I don't use the bone folder for this. You'll be able to just use a bone folder once you attach everything onto the handbag. So I actually do this in sections. I do it in sections of 3. I have a friend who does like every 4 to 5 tabs. I don't have the patience for that. Let's be real. Okay, so the side that had the original tab where you just folded it over and didn't have to glue it down, that's what you're going to start with, okay? And so this, I use the Aleene's glue because I want it to grab quickly. And so the first thing I'm going to do is glue this part down, maybe. All right, and so you know the back because it has this part standing up, okay? And this will go under that big tab. So I'm going to take this and just match it up. And you're going to hold it until it is adhered. Make sure the tabs are to the back of your purse. So see, here's your purse and then here's your tabs. Okay, you don't want it going to the front or it's not going to stick to the handbag. All right, so I think we're adhered pretty well. So now I'm just going to start putting glue on the tabs. And like I said, I just do one section at a time. It's pretty easy to see. Oops, I went one over. That's all right. Okay, so then you're just going to line this up as best as you can. And you're going to curve it as you go. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to do it where you can see it easily. And just take it around your purse. And once you think it's adhered enough, you can lay this down and then rub it with your bone folder to give it more. Oh, I forgot it needs to go under your tag. Sorry. Okay, so let me see, where am I? Okay, so it looks pretty good. All right, so I'm just going to take my bone folder and rub this down a little bit to make sure it's adhered well. Okay, see how that looks? Not too shabby, huh? Okay, so at this point, let me see. Oh, it's all coming in undone. Shoot. Oh, it's not cooperating. Oh, and this came undone. Crud. See, I didn't say this was easy. Alright, so I'm just going to add some more glue to these parts. Oops, sorry. Alright, I'm going to put this over like this and add more glue. And it was going so well. Crazy. Okay, so now I'm going to put these back down. And then let me flip it over and see where I'm at. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to hit you with my head. Alright, so I'm going to bone fold these down again just to make sure they're sticking. And as you can see, it still looks really good. So that's no worry. And now I think I'm just going to try it, putting a bead down the side. Let's see how that works. Let's see. Dang it. Why isn't this sticking? I have not had this kind of trouble, and this is my 5th one. Of course, the day you want to record, right? Where it's supposed to go smoothly. And guess what? Bam, we're not cooperating today. That's alright. You'll get there one way or another. I did say this was the hardest part of the whole handbag, right? I thought I did. Okay, so that looks okay to me. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on the tab that we glued on. And then we're gonna glue it together. Let's see. Really? This doesn't want to cooperate either. The love of crafting, huh? All right, so my little piece of paper here that I put the glue on, because this bottom corner is wanting to pop out a little bit, I'm just gonna slide some glue onto that last tab, and then I'm gonna make sure it goes where it's supposed to, because I don't like it sticking out. And then I'm just gonna hold it for a minute. And what do you think? We got our first half of the purse put together. So now we get to do it all again. Okay, so I'm gonna start in the center. Curl this up. It just gets the paper used to bending a little bit for when you have to glue it down so it doesn't fight so much. So maybe I just didn't curl it enough last time, I don't know. Or maybe it just wanted to give me attitude. We'll never know, will we? So I'm going to fold this tab over. I'm going to glue this one down. Alright, I'm going to add it to this side. Make sure nothing is sticking out and that it's lined up well. Looks good to me. So now I'm going to start flipping over these tabs, or pushing them down, because you know we got to attach them again. So I don't know if just running a bead of glue around the whole side of the purse will be easier. I like to make things harder than they actually are. So I'm going to go ahead and glue some of the tabs down at the beginning just to make sure they're adhered well. And then we'll see if we need to do like we did on the last side, where we can just run the bead. Alright, so I always start with the tab that was connected to this instead of having to be glued on. Alright, so I'm just going to put some glue on here. Don't forget, tabs facing the back of your handbag so you can glue it together. And I'm just going to get this applied. Let me see. Ah, having issues. Why is this not going down? That looks okay, I guess. Alright, so I'm just going to hold that until it adheres a little bit. Okay. Alright, and now I'm going to put the glue on the tabs. So let's see how this one will go easier because we don't have that part that was on the back side. Or at least that's what I'm telling myself. Time will tell, right? Alright, so I'm going to try and adhere this again. I don't know which is easiest to do. Honestly, let's see. So is this connected? Alright, so this might actually work if we just put it down. Get that part done. If you can get the first few to hold, then it'll go a lot easier for you. So then we go to the next one. Pinch it together until it holds. There, doesn't look too bad. Wiped off that glue. So I'm just going to let this sit a minute so when I go to glue the next set, this doesn't pop up. What do you think? Looks okay, huh? Oh, bear with me, I need a drink. See, already easier. So we're going to put this down, and now we're going to make sure these first few pieces stick. And then we're just going to work our way down. To get it where you want it to go. And while I'm still working on those last couple of pieces, I'm actually going to put some glue on the last section. That way I don't have to fight it later. Okay, let's see. Oops, did you see this one popped off a bit? So I need to rehold that real quick. And then I'm going to hold this. Oh, now it all wants to give me two today, huh? My fat thumbs keep getting in the way. Okay, come on. Just stick. Okay, so now when it gets down to this end, this one's going to look a little wonky, I think. Put that in, put that in. So I'm just trying to get these to adhere so they stick. And then if there's any that aren't sticking, I can get my little scratch piece of paper and put some glue on the edge and glue it down that way. But I think we might be okay. Time will tell. Okay, now I just want to put some glue on this tab. Oh, and I just folded it. Oh my gosh, Jeanette. Okay. I think we're getting places. Yes, it doesn't look too bad. There's a few parts that are sticking out, but I don't think it's really noticeable. All right, so now we have both sides done and ready to go. All right, so sorry about that. I hit the phone and everything stopped. So I did not cut out the inner pieces yet. I think I'm going to go with a hot pink, but I'm not sure. So you cut out pieces that look like this, and then you can put them in the center to cover most of the tabs. So it will not remain just black. But I'm going to set this aside and let it dry a little bit, and then I'm going to work on the tassel. So here's the tassel piece and the top that goes with it. I forgot to grab my tool, so bear with me one moment. Okay, so for this part, it's easiest if you have a quilling tool. Why is my bag not opening? And I do, I just have to be able to find it. So bear with me one moment. Okay. So this is the quilling tool. If you see, it has like a little opening where you put the paper in there. And so that's how you get it twisted. So give me one moment. I'm just going to put some glue on. Or maybe I'm not. Sorry, I'm trying to rethink this. So we've had like 5 to 6 woodpeckers in our front yard just pecking at the ground. And this crow just came and chased them all away. So you slide your paper into that section, but that's not the side you want to do it on. So I apologize. All right, let me try it with my right hand. I am so blind. Okay. All right. So you put it all the way down and you just start twisting, and you want to keep it level so that everything stays even. And as you go, the papers will fold out, but that's okay. I don't want you to be worried about that. And so as you can see, gosh, I hope I wasn't too far up. All right. So then I'm going to pull that out. And I have this little tab right there, and I'm just going to put some glue right there. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to hold that still, but look, now we have a little tassel. Isn't that just the cutest? You can bend it out if you want, or you can leave it straight. Totally up to you what you'd like to do. All right, so I have that glued, and then this will actually wrap around it. So let me just see. All right, let me put some glue on this edge. All right, and just keep it down, and then you roll this as well. And then it also has a tab right there that you put your glue on. And for this one, I'm going to use the Aleene's because it grabs quicker. And on this metallic paper, it's so slick that it takes a while for the Nouveau to grab. But I feel like it moved, so give me 1 second. Okay, so then I'm just going to pinch this together until that grabs and try and get my lid on my glue with one hand while I'm waiting. Super talented, right? All right, lots of glue coming out, but that's okay. So as you can see, we have a tassel. So I'm just going to set that aside to dry, grab my wet one and get some of this glue off my fingers. And the next thing I'm going to do is adhere the pocket to the front. So I'm going to take this piece. I got 3D foam tape, and I forgot my tape scissors, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my 3D foam tape. I'm just going to cut some pieces off, and maybe my scissors will cut it. Holy cow. So I'm going to put this down right here, and then I'm going to do a shorter one on the bottom. Let's see, I don't even know if you can see. So I'm just adhering this to give it some pop up off of the... I need to get some new tape scissors. These are getting really gross. Okay, so we have these on there. Okay, so I'm just going to peel off that coating. Alright, put the lid back on. Oh wait, I need this glue actually. And I always put a little glue on this foam tape too, just to make sure it sticks. because of the quilting that I've done in the embossing. I don't want this to pop off. Alright, so I'm going to put this right about here. Maybe a little lower. There. And then I'm just going to use my fingers to pinch it on there. Make sure the glue is adhering. And then I can do it like this and just push down. Alright, so now we have the pocket. And you can put something small down there maybe. Let's see. So if we line this up, and then plenty of room. Okay. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do while I'm waiting for these to completely dry so that they will cooperate is I have 2 lock pieces. Because the paper is brown on the other side, I always cut 2 out and just glue them together. And that way you have a silver lock on both sides. And did you know that if you get glue on this, on shiny paper like this, or the metallic cardstock, you can just take a wet one and wipe it off. And then you won't have those glue smudges. And so when I get ready to adorn the lock on the handbag, I actually have this chain that I cut out to use. There's so many different things you can do here with this kit. Alright, so the next thing I need to do is get these glued together. So bear with me one moment. So we have these skinny tabs right here. And you can fold them back up now that we creased them really well, right? And I'm going to use the Aleene's glue again. And I just go down that skinny side, put the glue on. And then I'm going to line this up as best as possible. Let's see. Okay, so when you have it, oh shoot. When you have it lined up, you just hold it together until it sticks. Let me see, is that right? This side does not look good. Okay, perfect. So those skinny parts, you just glue it together. Give it a few minutes to grab. And if you have like the clips like this, you could just also use that to hold it until it's dry. I'd rather get a deep paper cut from the cardstock. I'm always doing that. I'm like, Don, I cut myself. He's like, again? Who said crafting wasn't dangerous? So the black cardstock in this is 110-pound cardstock. And then because I made my own paper, this is also 110-pound cardstock. Alright, so my glue leaked a little bit. I'm just going to try and wipe it off if I can. It's on the bottom, so nobody's really going to notice a whole lot. Alright, so then, let's see. So here's what it looks like now. As you can see, we're getting places. Look at the side, isn't that amazing? And then there's the back. Okay, so now we have the zipper part. Okay, we're going to take our bone folder again and start somewhere in the middle and just bring it down. And so you can see this one curved a lot easier. And so as you'll notice, there's like dotted line right here. That's where you're going to glue this down at. Only on the front side though. Okay, so you're going to glue it along that dotted line. And then it will cover, it'll overlap. Like, see how this one overlaps right there? This is going to be so pretty. Alright, so with this one I'm going to use the Aleene's again. I'm just going to run a bead down the side. Let me see which side. Okay. I'm going to run this bead down the side. Not a whole lot of glue, just a little bit. Well, maybe. Okay, there. So I've done the glue. Now I'm just going to try and get this on the side. And just over the dotted lines. Oh, why isn't this working today? I am just getting glue everywhere. Okay. So here's the dotted line. There's the dotted line. And there's the dotted line. Okay, so now you just pinch it down until it holds. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that there for a minute and let it dry. And then once we get it dry, we can move on to the next step. All right, so here, I always recommend doing the latch in just a normal cardstock, because if you do it in the metallic cardstock, it's super slick and your bag will not stay closed. So here I'm gonna fold this part up. I'm gonna fold this part up, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna cut out the little flowers so it has some decoration. And then the center part you fold in. There's 2 lines, if you can see them. I'm terrible at scoring things that close, but we're gonna give it a try. Because this is where your latch is gonna be. It's so hard to always get that second one done. So I just use the bone folder and try it that way. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so did it work? We will see. Nope, it doesn't look like it. Sometimes this is the hardest part for me, honestly. Okay, I think I got it now. Yes. All right, so I'm going to put a dab of glue in the center. So that adheres. But you don't want to do these pieces because that's what's going to attach to your handbag. Okay. All right. So now, this is kind of tricky too, but this is the best way I've learned how to do it. Oh wait, first we have to close this. Okay, so now that your zipper is on there good, you're just going to want to slide this in. Wow, that went in super easy. Whew, that's the best time I've ever had trying to get that in there. All right, so I'm going to take my little mechanism. I'm going to put the Aleene's glue on here. Not a whole lot, but just enough to grab, because you're going to want it to grab quick. All right, so then what I do is I put the flower side down and I put it through our little hole, and I just hold it right there. And then I attach it like this. And I take like a tool that has a poker and I just rub down on this so that it'll grab. All right, so then you slide that off and look it. Oh, I got glue everywhere. Your bone folder, just rub it on there and then it will adhere. And then you just push it up a little bit and your purse is ready. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to decorate it a little bit. I'm sure once I get done with this, I'll look at it and be like, okay, it needs a few things. And if so, I will add pictures to my blog once I've done it. But let's go ahead and adhere the zippers. So here's the 2 zipper pieces. I'm going to get the foam dots. And I'm just going to put a foam dot on the upper part, the back part right here. And I'm going to put it on this side because I didn't get the side as low as the other side. But you'll never know with the zipper pull right there, right? Alright, so there's the zipper pull on that one. And then I'm going to do one for the front pocket. And I'm just going to place it right there. I placed it right there. And then we're going to go ahead and put the lock and the tassel on. So here I'm just going to put this through the lock. And then I'm just going to put a bit of glue on the edge. And we will hang it around the handle. Okay, so I'm just going to put this here. And this does not want to cooperate. Of course not, because why would it? Alright, so that is glued together. We're just going to let it dry. And then look, the little lock hangs down like that. Well, see, there's the lock. Okay, now let me try this tassel. Let's see if everything is adhered to there. Again, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I'm going to string this through the tassel holder. And then let's see which will be easiest. Maybe to do it this way and then glue. Or not. Let's see. Okay, so I put a little bit of glue on there. I'm going to bring the other side of the chain up and try and match it up with the tip. And there you go. You got a lock and a tassel. What do you think? You have successfully just made a bag. And I'm probably gonna do maybe the gray for the top of here and do the embossing on there too, just to give it a little pop. But like I said, as I go along, I'll probably figure out new things and I'll post pictures once I've completed it. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and I hope you have a great day.